This video is brought to you by Melon, the #1 streaming platform on the planet, and this is actually what Melon looks like. This is what I use to shoot all my remote interviews, but what it's really for, it's a powerful live streaming platform that allows you to go live simultaneously on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, or your own custom servers. They've got these great themes, overlays, and even a green screen to make your stream look incredible. And a feature I really like is it saves your stream right to the cloud, so you don't have to worry about accidentally deleting it, which I've done before. So go check them out. Click on the link in the description below to try Melon for free. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, it's Erika Costell. I'm here with Tom Ward. I have a very exciting announcement coming today, so make sure you stay tuned.
Welcome to the Tom Ward Show, where we interview the biggest influencers in the world. Today we've got one of my personal faves, Erika Costell, YouTuber, model, and entrepreneur. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we did this 2 years ago.
Yep. There's a lot. I mean, we talked about a lot, and a lot of it happened, but COVID obviously kind of switched up a lot of it. So I'm interested to see, like, I have some. I remember some of what we talked about, like the parts that did happen, like the modeling stuff, the music stuff, but a lot of it got delayed, like the writer's camp, the pilot that was coming out, I was supposed to be out of the country the whole year of 2020. That all took a pivot. My whole career has pivoted since the last time I talked to you.
Well, the first thing I want to know is, so you posted 10 videos in the last year, but 4 in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
1, what have you been up to the last year? And 2, are you back on YouTube?
Yeah, I only posted, I hadn't posted in over a year, I think, or maybe about a year when I posted my Swim Week series. So that's kind of what I've been up to most recently. I was just at Swim Week. I signed with Next Models, been getting my modeling career going again. As I mentioned to you last time we talked, I was signed in London. Courtney and I went over there and lived there for about a month or so, and then everything COVID hit, so we got sent home. So now I'm based in the United States with an agency, and I will sign over there again, hopefully by the end of September. But for the YouTube stuff, so 2020, I was supposed to be all over the country. I wasn't even supposed to be in the United States. Obviously, COVID changed that. So my years are all typically planned about a year in advance, like pretty much. So when COVID hit and my entire career pivoted, I was like, holy shit, like, what am I gonna do? Like, what is this year gonna be like now? And I really just had to take a step back from everything, because for the longest time, you gotta remember too, I've only been online for since the summer of 2017, and one of those years has been a break.
Yeah, but it seems like a lifetime though, because in this world,
we just go. We just we keep going.
It's only 4 years you've been around?
And one of those years was a break.
It seems like you're just, well, I guess you are an OG, but it seems like you've done so much.
Working on the social media business part of it started in 2015. So but I wasn't a face, realistically. I was behind the camera, and I've been in the industry for a long time. I've done modeling forever, but no. I think it's because at the beginning of my career, I did so much. I vlogged every day for 268 days. That's a lot of content. Of course, it seems like I was there a lot. But this past year, I really took a step back. The past, I would say 2 years before this, I said yes to everything, because I wasn't really sure where to put all my focus, and I'm still getting a feel for this. This is still pretty new, to me.
What, video?
Yeah,
YouTube?
It's only been a few years, so I wanted to see, do I want to do, more music? Do I want to keep doing YouTube? I took a step back and literally just put my head down and got to work on the things that, and I say this now a lot, I will no longer do things I'm not passionate about. And for me, it was taking my hands out of a lot and really just going full force in the things that I love. And a lot of that was back end. So the past year, I've been planning this, I don't want to call it a rebrand, but I can't say anything about this yet, but what's coming on the 31st, that went back full force, got that off the ground. I'm actually opening, I love business, and I've told you this the whole time, I love seeing my ideas come to life. That's what gets me going. I always say this, modeling was my first love, so I'm gonna do that as long as I can. But when it came to YouTube and all these other platforms and stuff, it's not that I don't love it, I was doing so much, I didn't know what my path was. I had so many lanes, and I went through almost an identity crisis in a sense, because it was all right, 2017 Erika, yes, it was me, but it was a very characterized version of me.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like so toxic the way, not the people, but like the way we were living, trying to outdo ourselves every day. I told you about this in our last interview. It took a toll. Like it caught up to me later on. And then when I separated from that version like of the house and kind of did my own thing, I was doing all the things I was loving again, but I did too much again. Like it's honestly, and I tell myself this, I need to take my own advice. It's better to say no and like really just, but you got to say yes to a few extra things
Especially
here and
early
there.
in your career, you have to say yes to everything.
It's like say yes to everything, figure out what you love. So that's really what I've been doing the past, I would say, year and a half.
So like when you took this kind of year, quote unquote, off.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't off.
Oh, I know it's not off. We'll talk about that. But
yeah.
When did you kind of step back and go, do I really want to vlog 300 days in a row?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Well, to be honest.
What kind of video do I want to create?
Yeah.
Do I want to do, is that kind of what you did?
That realization with, do I want to vlog every day? Fuck, oh shoot.
You can say fuck.
Okay, fuck no.
Yeah.
I do not came after like the 200 and whatever days of vlogging straight. It's like, one, that wasn't even like, yes, it was me, but it wasn't.
No.
And then it's like I have the 2017 audience, I have the music audience, I have the modeling audience, I have my new audience who follows me now for like who I am now. So I was like, well shit, like which version am I? Like, I don't know. So I feel like that year for me also was really good for my mental health because I'm the same person, but I had so many characters and not even characters, but just so many paths that it was so confusing even for me to like get on Instagram and like be myself. So I was like,
a brand identity? Like, what's your brand identity,
I was
Erika?
like, I know who I am.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a grown up now. I'm 28 years old. Like, people don't even realize that. I'm like, I know exactly who I am, but then I'll like go off on a tangent and people are like, well, this doesn't seem like you. And I'm like, it gets to you. Like, mental health is a thing. It's important. And I feel like that year of fully I would say it was like closer to a year and like 8 months. And like taking a step back and like, I mean, I've always known who I am, but really figuring out how to show like, hey, like this is Erika now. Yes, you've known her throughout the years, but like we've all grown. Like I'm grown up, the audience is growing up.
That's good.
So it was a lot of figuring that out. And also, to be honest, like, I don't know how to say this like the right way, but I did the YouTube thing, for a long time. I'm so thankful for my fans. I got the money, I got everything going. I don't feel the need to constantly be showing people what I'm doing. I like to let things speak for themselves now. Whereas before, I feel like I was very validated through views and all of that, like in the very beginning. And now it's like I'm validated through seeing my ideas come to life and like being a part of like this network and like tapped into everything I'm tapped into. I think it's cooler holding that close to me and like showing what needs to be shown versus being like, I'm so cool, look at me here, I'm on this set, like. And I say this all the time too, like, no offense to anybody out there. If you're constantly being like, I'm rich, I'm cool, I'm dope, like, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, but like, if you have to force it down people's throat that like, you're doing something, it's like, okay, just show us. Like, I don't want to hear about it, so I take my advice when it comes to that, and I'm like, I don't want to hear what people are doing, I just want to see it.
Yeah.
So now, I'm just vibing.
Have you seen that meme? It reminds me of, I think it was Jay-Z or Kanye, and they go like, 2007 Jay-Z, and he's like all blinged out.
Yeah,
and then it shows like billionaire now Jay-Z. He's like wearing a black t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah, just chilling.
He's got nothing to show.
Exactly.
He's done it.
Yep. So that's kind of like, I feel like it's also too, like, I've been in so many phases of social media in these like very short years that I almost had to be alone, and like, I was never alone. Like, I have a team, my like workplace.
Shout out Courtney.
Yeah, shout out Courtney, Shannon, Britt, Harvey, everybody, like Frankie. There's like a million people on my team that I'm working with. But I needed to take that year that I was supposed to be traveling modeling to just be like, like turn everybody off.
Were you here in LA?
I was stuck in Miami for the beginning of quarantine because I had just gone home from London. They had taken it seriously before we did. So I was going on a 5-day vacation in Miami. In those 5 days, everything hit. Like, there was no flights back. So I was in Miami for like 4 months or 5 months. I ended up driving home to Nashville, stayed there for a month, and then finally could get a flight back to LA. But I was in the United States. Yeah, like I was here, and I needed that. I needed just a moment to be like, hey, like you don't, like, and anybody listening to this, you don't need validation through anyone but yourself, because I feel so much more fulfilled in my career now than when I was getting 10 million views a video.
Yeah.
So
were you really getting 10 million?
Oh, I mean,
shit.
Yeah, not every single video, but
wow.
I deleted all those videos. So I could go back and tell you exact numbers, but yeah, my channel had over like, I think 1 billion views.
Holy
before
shit.
I deleted like all those videos, yeah.
Wow.
So that's what this new brand is. It's like not a new brand, it's just more or less like talking less, showing more, and like I'm a grown up now. I know what I want. I've always known what I wanted, but everything just seems so more clear and like clicked in, and like that's who I want to be. I want to be more than just like, I don't think being a model is a, character trait. Like, I don't want people to look up to like being pretty, like I want there to be substance.
I'll tell you what, the worst interviews ever are like models. No offense, but like an Instagram model who's just known for that.
Yep.
A lot, not all of them. There's some great ones out there.
What are you trying to say, Tom?
I'm saying some models, there's not a lot of depth.
Yeah.
And...
Well, you know what? It's hard for me to speak on that because I think I've told you this. My modeling career started when I was still on MySpace. Like, there was no Instagram. Like, the castings were very real. Like,
you're old school.
Yeah.
MySpace. These kids listening don't even know MySpace.
Guys, yeah, my top 8. Like, it was, I don't want to say, like, actually, I will say, like, I've seen a lot of like those old school models. Like, it's not like this anymore, and I'm not talking down the modeling industry. I love being a model. I love my agency. But in the past, it was like you were not really supposed to show like what you were a model, you were a blank face, you showed up, you did your job, you shut up.
Yeah.
And now I think that it's really cool that girls are able to, have their own brand and be a model, but I get where that comes from because there is an identity crisis there. Like, you were kind of controlled in a sense. You couldn't dye your hair, you couldn't wear certain makeup, you couldn't...
Gotta keep your weight down.
Like it was very much, it's hard. It's not like, I'm not gonna take away from the fact that I have a ton of help now that I have a following, and back then it was very, very different, but I get that. Like, I feel those girls at the same time because maybe they weren't given a chance to like, or maybe they're scared to speak out, or, so.
That is good. Social media, I never thought about that, is good for models because otherwise, if they listen to kind of their handlers and they keep their mouths shut and they do this, they're only a pretty face for so long, and then there's nothing else there.
Exactly.
So at least they get to build their brand, show their personality.
I think, like, even at the beginning of social media, it was still kind of like my friends who were traditional models who were just like living in New York, like, it still wasn't really accepted by the agencies for them to like post in like a certain thing or like post in a certain way. Whereas now it's helping everyone. Like, obviously social media is our world. It's helping every single part of everyone's career, including the agencies. So I think it's really cool to be a part of like seeing that shift. But I'm not gonna lie, like, I definitely enjoy it a lot more now that like, one, I'm able to like see what people want exactly, and also have an agency where they're like open to it. But yeah, definitely feel sometimes those girls, you never know. Like, they might be scared to talk.
That's
but
true.
I get it.
That's true.
Yeah.
So kind of what you're saying now, this new old Erika, right? You're still you. You're just showing like a more authentic self. It sounds like. It sounds like that would lend yourself to a podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems like, kind of what you're building and the audience you're connecting with.
Yep.
It seems like that's the podcast world.
Well, you're right on track. I think we talked last time in 2019. Amanda Steele and I were supposed to do a podcast, and we did film the first episode, and Amanda and I were like together all the time at like the beginning of quarantine, and then as things started picking back up with work, nothing happened. We just like it just wasn't working out. Like, the schedules weren't working out, the timing, even the content, the creative strategy just wasn't like what it was supposed to be at the beginning, from both sides. So that podcast, unfortunately, sad to say, is not happening, but I am planning to launch my own podcast this year.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you know kind of what the topics, or is that a secret?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's kind of exactly what we're talking about. I have a lot of guests lined up and in mind for that, but it's kind of just like, I don't want to say like big sis vibes, but almost. Like, I feel like there is a spot for like, what do you want to say? Like, coming up on social media, if one of like the OGs, like for example, I think Amanda Sernian does a really good job of like being like a really good role model, but if I would have been able to listen to something like kind of giving advice based on like all of her, I feel like that's kind of missing. So I'm not going to be like big sister, because like,
a good niche.
but like something like that where I'm bringing on like the TikTokers and like, maybe the CEO of the Grammys and like my writer friends and like just a bunch of people, and just really just having real conversations and like putting more real out there to an extent.
Yeah. You mentioned writing too. I didn't know, like, during all this, right? So you're a model, you're a YouTuber, you're an entrepreneur, which unfortunately we can't talk about that right now, but we're gonna do the video and you're gonna see it next week. So you definitely have a strong business mind too, but I didn't know you're a writer. Like, you write screenplays, like why?
Yeah, so so the thing is, like, I don't really know how I figure out these like extra talents, but I feel like it's the people I have around me now are like just so creative and like such good people. It's like we kind of feed off each other's energies. So as I mentioned last interview, we were kind of talking about music and Bia and like how it was a collective and all that kind of stuff. And Bia is still like technically a label, but it's not like a typical music label. That's my company with Harvey Mason Jr., who is the CEO of the Grammys, and then Britt Burton, who is the A-list songwriter we talked about. So that's like fully a company now. It's been delayed so much from COVID. We couldn't have people in the studio. We couldn't finish the girls' music out. We couldn't even finish my music out. So Harvey, who is an absolute legend, I'm sure, everyone's heard of Harvey. He's worked with absolutely everyone. They're like family at this point. He has like all of these creatives coming in and out. Like, I'm not gonna name drop on his behalf, but I realized how much potential there was for another missing market when it came to screenwriting, and so did Britt. So we kind of just, picked up on this this little niche that we have going on together, and we actually have one fully written screenplay. It's out being pitched currently.
You wrote that?
Yeah, Britt and I.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's she actually on her own over COVID sold one to Netflix and to Disney Plus. So like it's not like. I feel like I don't talk about these things because I like to keep them close and like let them speak for themselves. But this is something I'm so proud of, and I'm like waiting for this to speed up because I'm seeing it catch on TikTok. This idea, I'll tell you about it like off camera.
Okay.
But yeah, we're writing screenplays. It's a very specific niche for the girls, is like what we say. And yeah, it's out there being pitched. She's in the wheelhouse.
So what is the process? Because the people listening now, the people watching, me. We don't know Hollywood. We don't know how this works. Do you write it first, have an idea, and then they shop it around the studios?
So Britt and Harv have way more experience in the shopping part of it, obviously because of all the work Harvey has done.
Sure.
But when it comes to the creative part of it, Britt and I sit down in a room for like a couple days at a time. Sometimes it'll take one day, sometimes it'll take a month, whatever it is. And then we just sit there and just like iron out everything, characters, everything that goes into the screenplay.
Story arc, all that stuff? Wow.
Everything. We like put it down. From there, we like to, on our own, do a video pitch to kind of see how it translates, like how we're thinking it, and we're the actors in it. So it's like, it's very much just for our own creative. We're learning, and I feel like I learn by watching, and so does she.
Yeah.
She's the one who knows how to format the screenplay. So I'm not actually typing it out. I'm sitting there watching, learning. She's got the format down. I have like the creative going while she's doing that. And then, we just pitch it out to, obviously they have their own network over at the studio. We use a lot of that, but it's a lot of like cold emails, cold reaching out on Britt and I's behalf, and it's working. So.
Is it sold yet? Or close?
There's 2 people interested in it right now. We're not sure if we want to make this like one movie or a series.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say,
Yeah.
but it's definitely like this close.
Well, good luck.
It's good. Thank you.
How long does that take? That's going to be a long process.
It's a long process.
That doesn't happen in a week.
This one's been about, from start to finish, I want to say about a year, right? Like about maybe a little under a year.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying, I'm trying to hurry it up is because we tend to think about these ideas and then I see it popping off on TikTok and I'm like, fuck. Like I got to get this out here really, really fast because we try to stay as ahead as we possibly can.
Sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of TikTok, so you take a year off.
Yeah.
You take a year off when TikTok exploded.
Yep.
Right? So you come back, you're an influencer, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you call yourself, a creator.
Yeah.
You've got to be on TikTok because everybody else is. So what do you do?
The thing is
are you playing like catch up? Is that how it feels?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I know my lane. Again, so like, it's not like when I'm taking a break, I'm not looking at YouTube, I'm not looking at Instagram. Like I'm still like in it. It's just like I needed to protect my energy for where it mattered because I had spread it thin for so long.
Smart.
And like, I love TikTok. At the beginning, I was like, this is so out of my league, like all this dancing stuff, like I'm too old for this, like whatever. But no, I don't ever feel like I'm playing catch up because if it was something I really felt passionate about, I would have caught on and just done it. Mm-hmm. So in my head, I'm like mental note, like you don't really like, TikTok's fun, but like, do I need to be putting all my time into that? Do I want?
Yeah.
No. So now I'm like kind of learning my niche on there. I don't really post that much. I'm not that good at it, but I love TikTok.
Me too.
I can get lost in TikTok.
Oh my God.
Like learning how to fold my socks and my towels to like all
Folding
these
the
like
sheet cover.
Everything.
The elastic one?
Yep.
I could never fold that.
No, honestly, like what I'm learning my niche will be on TikTok is like all the things I'm looking at and there's not a lot of videos. So like that's what I'm gonna try to do. For example, I'm on Accutane right now.
Okay.
So like looking up safe products or whatever, like I use it for like quick knowledge. Like you learn something in like 30 seconds. That's what I have time for.
Yeah.
I love TikTok.
TikTok's good.
Yeah.
I use it. I got verified, which is funny.
Yeah,
but
you're
I just post clips.
Yeah.
So it's good. Like you're looking at it as a creator. I look at it like this interview. Anyone listening?
Yeah.
Like I'm sure a lot of people have podcasts. How many people?
I don't know.
26? Oh, we should do more.
I know.
What's going on?
The live thing is new for everyone.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't signed up and stuff yet. But, I'm sure there's podcasters out there. You got to shoot it for YouTube.
Yep.
Because without video, if you have video, you've got Instagram clips, you have IGTV.
And you can upload it to
Reels,
everywhere.
TikToks, Shorts.
Everywhere.
Yeah, you got to be everywhere now.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's a lot. It's
what do you think of Shorts now and Reels? Fuck.
So honestly, since I haven't been active on YouTube in so long, it was a bit overwhelming. Obviously, I've done my homework and I'm kind of getting it now that I'm coming back. I'm not fully back yet. I'm trying to post a video every Tuesday. And it will be consistent, but there's a few, as you know about, business things that need to get ironed completely out first.
Yes.
It's a lot. I feel like it's very saturated. I personally don't love it because if I want a long video, I normally go to YouTube. If I want a short video, I normally go to TikTok. If I want to be entertained for a while, I go to Instagram, looking at pictures or getting creative ideas or whatever it is. Twitter is for real personalities. I feel like everything has its own niche. Mm-hmm. I personally don't love that we're having every part of every platform on every single platform.
Yep.
But it is what it is. You got to just
you have to play everywhere.
Adapt and overcome and just keep going and changing. But it's a lot.
It is a lot.
What do you think? Do you think Shorts are going to pop off? What do you think of the new?
I don't know, but they do. They help with your numbers. They get you subscribers.
You have to pay attention to the algorithm.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
If
you want to stay in the zone or whatever.
So you have to figure out YouTube now. That's just part of the game.
Yeah.
Same thing with Instagram.
Yep.
You have to post Reels because they want Reels.
It's a lot. It definitely is a lot. It's a full-time job. I mean, being a creator is definitely no joke, as you know.
It's funny. Well, I'm not a full-time creator. I got a job. We're hopefully getting there someday.
Yeah.
We're down the path. We'll see.
You post everywhere. You're talking to everyone. You technically are a creator because you're creating.
What are we doing right now, Erika?
There you go. We're creating
content. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I was going to tweet today. It didn't want it to sound pretentious, so I didn't post it. But I was curious, how many people is this their dream job? How many people, if you did a poll on Twitter, would say being a creator is their dream job?
Well, I remember hearing, something about it. I think this was over a year and a half ago now, where it was before when they would do polls at school, it'd be Reach for the Stars was more of professional athlete or whatever it was.
Actress.
Or now it's YouTuber.
Yep.
So, or whatever, TikTok or whatever it is now. That was a year and a half ago. So yeah, I would say a lot of people definitely want to be in this position, but a lot of people at the same time don't know how much it actually involves, which is fine. If you have work ethic, you can do whatever the hell you want to. Nothing's in your way if you can put your head down and really grind it out. But it's definitely a lot. It's definitely a lot.
I've interviewed just about every big creator out there, and the one thing they all have in common is they work their ass off.
Yeah.
And I'm talking every spectrum, lifestyle ones or controversial ones, all of them.
You have to.
They work their ass off. Mm-hmm. We were talking about Def Noodles before. I interviewed him.
You told me about him.
He's the tea guy. You guys should check him out. He's good on Twitter. I know a lot of you guys aren't on Twitter, but he's on Instagram now too. But he was saying he had to post tea every day when he started his channel. So he worked 18-hour days for 6 months straight or something. Yeah. Posting on the weekends too.
That's how that literally that everyday vlog life was. No, not a life
it's not
at
sustainable.
All. It was you wake up, we had it was technically a production because depending on the day, even though I was doing my own content, if we were doing collaborations in the house, you would still need to take time to be a part of everyone else's, so everyone was working together. It would be wake up, get ready, which I didn't put on some merch, and then film for I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 10 hours, then plus the videos that you were in that day, upload your content, get it out to your editor, wake up, review it, post it, do it again. And if you wanted a day off, you'd film two or three videos in a day. If you wanted a day off.
Yeah.
So of course, sometimes it'd be what seemed like 20-hour days, which probably were 20-hour days. Yeah.
Insane. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that. Now I want to talk business, so we're going to go in a sec. But before I do, YouTube. So what's the plans? You started posting again?
Yeah, I started posting again on Tuesdays. I haven't really I've just been trying to get it out there because again, we talked about the algorithm and I am making a full comeback. I don't want to tell too much because I want there to be a surprise element to it, but it's more or less just authentic things to me. I was talking about, I'm over putting out things for what people want. I want an audience who wants to grow with me and wants to be inspired by the same things I am. And just can really get a good feel of who I am now and not who I was when whatever I was doing. Still the same person, just very much involved in different communities within the community, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm coming back Tuesdays and eventually it will be Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Oh, wow.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more.
Yeah.
So now this is kind of weird how we structured this interview.
I know. It's because, should we tell them that we made a mistake?
Go ahead.
Okay, so basically this has been one of the craziest weeks of my life, and for a lot of different reasons. And Tom asked me, he's like, hey, do you want to do this live interview thing? And I was like, you know what, honestly, like, let's run it. Like, fuck it, let's go. And then I'm on the way here and I'm wearing this hoodie that's launching today, by the time I see this, yeah. And Courtney's like, oh, we can't take pictures because you can't, release the hoodie. Or no, I said that, and then Courtney's like, wait, the whole interview is live. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, I was supposed to be talking in real time, so we had to cut up our interview portions because I would have just spilled the tea. A solid 10 days or so early.
It's not good. I would have loved it. It would have got great views and coverage.
I would have been in so much trouble.
We can't do that to you.
We can't do that.
You're a friend.
No.
So first of all,
yeah, let's get into it.
Before we even talk about the sweatshirt, how many companies do you own? This is the business side of Erika Costell we're talking about now.
Okay.
How many?
So so 2 public, well, about to be 3 public, 4 in total. After today, 3 will be public.
Okay.
Yeah. So my goal is by 30, so in 2 years, I want to have 7 revenue streams completely pumping.
Wow.
So we're almost there. That's like more than halfway there.
So can you tell me what all 7 are?
No.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Well, I know what the next 2 are. I haven't really figured out. I think I have like a little bit of an idea what the 7th one is, and it actually has nothing to do with social media.
Okay.
But yeah.
I just read TikTok. We were talking TikTok before.
Yeah.
That's how you learn stuff, right? It's girls dancing in bikinis and then something factual.
Okay, wait a second. Your For You page is girls dancing in bikinis.
That's my For You page.
Mine is how to fold towels and like organize your life. So.
It's so funny. My wife looks at me and she goes, mine does not look anything like yours. She goes,
no, hers is like wholesome.
Mine is kids, family.
Yeah. Like how to decorate your house, how to build your vanity.
But see, I learned stuff. Some other things pop up, and it was that the average multimillionaire has 6 streams of revenue.
7.
Oh, is it 7? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I just saw that yesterday. Mm-hmm. So that's your goal, is that you want to have 7 and you want to be, that's where you want to be.
Yep, by 30.
Very smart.
I mean, I'll do more, but like my goal is to have 7 by 30. I mean, 7 by 29. The one is going to take, I can't say anything. We'll repick this up next year. You'll know what they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the sweatshirt, one of the many revenue streams. So what's this all about?
So this is a Kyrie Sport. A Kyrie Sport has been in the process, like fully in the process for the past 3 years.
Wow.
And this brand is the first brand that I've done without any this is the first thing I've done that has not related to social media. Obviously now it is, but I wanted this whole process to be completely anonymous. I called myself a ghost designer. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I think we just talked about this a little bit too. Like when you're on social media and you go through shifts in your career, you do kind of have an identity crisis, at least in my situation. And again, this past year and a half where I've kind of just been in the back end more than the face of social media, I've really just like put my head down and like got back to where I was before social media, if that makes sense. Like an internal feeling with mental health and like shutting out all the noise and just really being like, what do you want to do? Like, I'm not doing things I'm not passionate about anymore. Like, that's it. Like, that's it. Like, that's the wrap. Like, if I'm not actually passionate about it, the answer is no. So this for me has been an idea for, I would say, 5 years, but in 2018, I had like a chance to really be on my own, and I went through a huge shift in my life, and I was just like, I can think for myself, I don't have to report, like, it was just all about me again. And even,
I was gonna ask about that, just interrupt. So you take a year, most people watching this can't just take a year off and find themselves, right?
Yeah.
Financially, you were set up.
Well, it's not that I took a year off.
Well, like, but not pumping out YouTube videos and doing stuff like that.
I was still, I'm still posting brand deals here and on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
It just wasn't how it was the year prior, I will say, where like everything was a video. I had a full-time videographer and editor who's now part-time, and like it just was less social media, more business.
I got you, okay.
So it was all business, and I would sprinkle in social media when I had the time to, realistically. So yeah, financially set up for that, thankfully.
Nice.
But 2018, I was like, all right, like Kyrie's got to get going. Like, let's get this off the ground. And the reason I wanted to ghost design again is because I didn't want to give anyone the opportunity with this brand to be like, oh, it's only good because she's an influencer and she's using her network, or, oh, it's not actually good. No, no. Like, this was completely anonymous. And I have it on, I mean, I would say some of the biggest celebrities in the world right now, and they until right now where I'm speaking this, like, they don't know it's my company.
Yeah, so let's talk about that right now. Addison Rae's worn it.
Yep. I actually have some
Porch.
statistics. Like, let me pull these up. I put together a little notepad. All right, so Kyrie Sport launched on March 20th of this year, so about 5 months ago.
Okay.
And within those 5 months, the first week we had, all right, so let me back up a little bit. The way I did this PR packaging was, again, I am a creator, so I know what it feels like to get packages. I know what it feels like to know what's missing in the market. I know what to create based on me being a girl in LA. So when I was putting together some of these PR packages, the only thing that like I thought about was, what do I want to open? Like, what do I get excited about, you know? And I really, really put that into a few like top tier PR, which I'll continue to roll out now that like this is a big announcement. And then just making sure that every other box was perfect and trendy and just like great when they opened it. So then the first week, I think the first girl who wore it was Addison Rae, and she was paparazzi'd in it. And what makes me so happy about this brand is everything I saw. Going with your gut feeling when it comes to shit, you guys, is so important. Like, I was telling Courtney this. Courtney's been with me for 3 years. When I feel like I don't want to say don't get excited, but I feel like I saw this in my head. Does that make sense? Like, I already saw this once, and like it was my gut just telling me to go. But within the first week, back to that. Go with your gut feeling. If you can feel something so strong, like never stray away from that. Like, please do it, because it's proved me right so many times. And this is the best thing in my opinion that I've ever done, because no one can say it's bad because they might not like me, or no one can take away from what it is because it's been 5 months. I have it on some of the biggest celebrities in the world. It's an incredible product. It's all made here in LA. We'll get to those details in a moment. But Addison wearing it in the first week made it to like just Jared. So then we were able to, you know, like get the press out there. I did utilize my network when it came to that later on in the game. And then within the first 2 weeks of launching, we got the product in front of over 60 million people. So
what do you mean?
60 million people who were posting it. Like, that was the reach between TikTok, Instagram, people. Like, I think, I'm not gonna like name drop, but you can go on the Instagram and see it. But there was 60 million in the first 2 weeks. So for me, I was just like, this is great. Originally, I wanted to take a year to announce that this was my brand, but I have so many more ideas that I want to keep pumping out that I'm claiming it. I had to make it known. And something else about a Kyrie too is we will never, ever, ever, I will never pay an influencer to post or talk about the brand. Everything is done 100% organically. I want the girls to love the product as much as I do. And I know what it is, but you know, like, I don't ever want to, I'm a creator. I know what it feels like to be, you know, hey, you're gonna post, no, I want everything to be organic. I want the product to speak for itself. And yeah, that's
so I'm gonna name drop Hailey Bieber, Addison Rae, Bella Porch, and more. So how do you get something on Addison? Because I can only imagine how many packages she gets, a fucking kabillion. Yeah. You started with a tank, right?
I started her with, no, she
get?
was one of the one who got like this extra special PR boxes. I made these really sick acrylic shoe boxes, and I had their names printed on the side, kind of just like, I don't know. Nobody posted it, so I don't really know what the final product looked like. In that acrylic box, there was a pair of Jordans that matched the sweatsuit that I sent them. So she got a sweatsuit, a sick Jordan thing. I think she got the beanie, all the tanks, whatever. It's not for me. It's not about the posting. For what gets me so excited is these girls, I can see when their package is delivered and they're wearing it the same day. And that's all that I care about, that they love it as much as I do.
How do you know their shoe size?
Oh, that was research. How did we figure? A little bit of Google, a little bit of just, I mean, I have a network, like who knows everybody.
Who can find out Addison Rae's shoe size?
Yeah, but it was all done anonymously. So like, you know, like stylists, we all kind of work in the same areas, so yeah.
Is it key getting to the stylist? I mean, are they calling the shots with a lot of these like?
No, I would say stylists, when it comes to like product placement and like maybe a pop shot, like I guess it could be there, but they're more like carpets and like special events. These sweatsuits are not.
It's every day.
Every single day, dress it up, dress it down for the girl on the go. Like, I guess a stylist could mix the tank in. Like, I feel like that's what happened with Hailey. She wore the white tank first, which completely sold out, our white tank, when she did that. She's worn it a few other colors a few other times. But I would say for the everyday wear, no. It's just like getting it to the girls. Like once you feel this, like it's not. All of these pieces are made in Vernon, California. So I mean I see everything come out of the machines. The way that this hoodie was designed, the base of it is like a small, but every single detail of this sweatshirt was made for like what I think is necessary. So for example, the sleeves, you don't see your hands. So if a girl wanted to take a mirror selfie, they can style it up and do it whatever. The hood was made with extra inches, so when you go to take a selfie, it doesn't mess up your hair. I added inches to the shoulders. I added inches to, like everything is perfectly oversized. Like this is a small, but I'm not drowning in it. It's like, you know, dress it up, dress it down. Everything comes white, everything is dip dyed, so I'm able to really pick out and like whatever colors I want and not have it be too in your face or too fluorescent or anything like that. Every single part of a Kyrie Sport has been touched by me. All the colors, all the ideas. I'm partnered with an amazing team at Nux. They took a really big leap of faith on me because they've never done a brand with a celebrity or influencer without their face. They do collaborations.
Sure. But
this was like a Kyrie X ? Not a Kyrie X Erika. So shout out to Malik for believing in me there. I just like went in with a pitch and I was like, look, like this is what needs to be done. This is what's missing. I know I can make it work. Like, you know I can make it work. Like had this whole PowerPoint presentation and it's, I mean, I'm the investor of the company, 50-50. So this was all done like very close to my heart and like everything. Literally, I like watch the shorts. Like we have biker shorts. I watch them come out. I watch them get dip dyed. Everything is created for the girls of our generation, realistically.
Now, that is very ballsy.
Yeah.
And good job you, because you go, as a guy, I don't understand this, but I go, who needs another tank in the world? You know, aren't there great tanks out there now?
See, the thing is, like, I'm not saying this is the only sweatsuit you're ever going to find in green or blue.
No.
However, this is the only sweatsuit that I have felt is perfect. And I am very big into fashion. I stay up on all the trends. I own probably 50 sweatsuits minimum, and I keep them all. These ones look heavy. Again, if you watch my YouTube video a little bit on this, I explain in more detail. This is I was originally going to call this like the feather set because it's so light. Like you can layer it up, you can whatever. Like, yes, it's out there, but the detail and like, you know, made with Instagram in mind, it just made with everything I felt was missing from my closet. Like those tank tops, I called it the perfect tank. It is the perfect tank.
Why?
There is a reason you can't get it anymore right now. It's the way that it was designed. All right. Let me explain to you how girls
Explain to me
All right.
what girls look for in a tank.
I wish I had it on right now. So,
yes.
With the white tank top for a female.
Okay.
Yes, it is trendy to have your nips showing.
Okay.
But you don't want to see the color. So you don't want a see-through tank. Like it's fine if you're poking out a little bit, right? But you like can't see the full thing, or like, right, Courtney? Like you don't want your colors to show in a picture.
Gotcha.
So I made sure it's not see-through. The tank top is ribbed, but you're not going to see anything through it. And then when it comes to going like this, all right? If you have a short crop tank on and you go like this, normally if you don't have a bra on, you have a nip slip. I've had many of them in my day. They've been all over YouTube. We weren't gonna have that happen. So having the length be short enough to where it could look like under boob, but enough elasticity to not move, that's a big thing. Another thing is the shoulder. So if your shoulder part is too thick, it tends to squeeze the girl's armpit, and when you put your arm down, nobody likes that extra little piece of skin.
Yeah.
We don't have that with a perfect tank. So every single thing that I've ever wanted in a tank top and a hoodie and a crew neck and a biker short was all put in to this, and that's why it took 3 years to make some sweatsuits, because they're perfect, in my opinion. That is biased, but it's also not at the same time.
Well, that is very cool and very educational.
Yeah.
Now I know. Actually,
now you get it. Now you get it.
This is so weird to even ask, but okay, you want the nipples to pop, but you don't want to show the color, right? Which is so funny to say.
I mean, some girls might, but
so how long does it take to figure out like what the thickness of the tank should be?
This process was 3 years.
Oh wait, that's too see-through. Oh wait, that doesn't show enough.
Yeah, so I'd have there was so much trial and error involved, and I would have fit models come in. I've had everyone from Courtney, she's 5 foot, to someone my height who's 5'8", try them on to make sure that everybody who lifts it up, it's not showing any boob.
Oh wow.
Everything like that. This was a full-blown clothing line. So we had the fit models. We had 10 different tank tops before we found the perfect tank in 3 years. Like the right amount of ribs, so it still looks good on camera, but isn't too chunky. Like there was a lot of small detail.
Attention to detail.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I like to challenge myself.
So did you invest real money into this? Like,
all of them, yes.
And I'm sure it's a lot. I mean, just the PR packages, you're buying custom Jordans for all these outfits. How much did a package cost? And how many did you send out? Like the VIP ones?
So the VIP ones, we started with, I think, 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
And I think each one, I don't know, a few $100s.
Oh, okay.
But also at the same time, it's like,
that is so
to
cool.
me, that's like, it's worth $1 million. Like to have a first, like, you know, like introduction to my brand, I don't care how much it costs. Like, I wanted that first impression to be so cool and so different. Like, to me, money, of course, we all work for money, but to me, it's like, I'm more than willing to invest all my money back into my new ideas because that's how I feel like fulfilled. That's how I grow.
Yeah.
So like if I need to spend $2,000 on a PR package, I would have. Just so those girls it worked.
Yeah.
You know, and even the girls who didn't get like the top tier ones, which I'm sending out more in the future, it's still that same feeling of knowing like these girls are getting their package, they're putting it on the same day.
They're excited.
And they're excited, and that's enough for me. Like that's like worth all the money in the world. Like that's the whole point. You know, the clothing like on this hoodie, these are exclusive hoodies. There are only 200 of them made, right, Court? There's only 200 of these made. They're numbered. This is the only logo that we will have for quite some time. But on the hood here, oops, this side, it says make the first move. That's what I always say, you know, make the first move, like put yourself out there, like be that, it's like it's an empowerment thing. On the side of the tag here, it says clothes optional, confidence required. Same thing I always say, you can look just as hot and be just as confident in a sweatsuit as you can in a Dior dress. So it's like, it was very much like all about empowering girls to feel sexy and no matter what it is, and just very much, a lot of myself went into this brand.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Now, so this is so odd kind of how you launch without, because every other influencer, buy my merch, this is me, this is my merch, and it's plastered all over the place. And you took the opposite approach and had success initially. You got all these celebs and influencer stuff wearing it, you're selling out.
Yeah.
Were you hesitant? Were you kind of like, no. I could fuck this up by bringing myself into this?
At first, it was really scary because, like you just said, I did everything backwards. But this was the first time since I started my career. Like, you know this, I grew 1 million followers in a night. I didn't have time to plan. I didn't have time to sit back and be like, what does Erika want to be? You know? So being able to like take my ego out of everything and just create was the best thing I ever could have done for myself, because I was able to not have any pressure, realistically. And like the pressure's good and whatever, but this was the best experience for me because there was no ego involved. There was no like, you know, looking at other things or comparing or whatever. Like this was fully me and fully my thing. And attaching my name to it, of course, like if it wouldn't have done well, that probably wouldn't have been the most, you know, the best thing. However, I would have waited. It didn't matter how long it took to catch on. How much I believed in this brand from the start is the reason I started it. So it wouldn't have mattered even if it did take, you know, a lot longer than it did. It was still my baby. So, yeah.
Well, that's incredible. I mean, the attention to detail, the time and effort that went in this place. It's not, hey, here's a logo, put it on my hoodies and sell them on FanJoy.
Yeah.
It's not that.
And we've done that.
It's a whole, but this is a whole different thing.
Well, we were talking about this too. Like I took that 1.5 years off making content, and this is kind of like my way of coming back and being like, the more authentic. Like I was telling you, like I don't want to have to be showing everything I'm doing all the time to make it known that I'm still working and I'm still, you know, I'm still successful. Success is not defined by numbers that you're seeing on YouTube videos or social media. Success is a feeling, and I feel like that differs for everyone. And I feel like, as I mentioned earlier, I was validated by the views. I was living in a very toxic environment when it came to pumping out content and outdoing myself every day. I don't do that anymore. I like to sit back. I'm a little bit more chill. I'm a grown up now. I know what works for me. I know what doesn't. I know what I love. I know what I'm passionate about. And from now on, I don't need to put my name on everything to see it succeed. I feel like it's more rewarding that way, to know that I'm able to create something without people knowing it's mine and they still really fuck with it. And I feel like that's even more validating than anything that I've done so far.
So why put your name on it?
Like why attach my name?
Yeah, because it was going so good.
Yeah.
You know, you were anonymous.
Well, one, I'm excited. It's been like 5-year
You've been waiting
3 years in the process.
Of course.
And also now that I am coming back on YouTube and stuff, I want to show the factory. I want to show them where it's made. I want to be involved. I'm so excited about this. So it was time. And also we were delayed kind of a year, not super delayed, but COVID took up like originally we were planning to launch in 2020.
Oh, wow.
A lot of things changed. It wouldn't have changed the timeline really. Like, I'm still gonna announce it's mine, like, whenever. But I was so ready. And I have so many new products coming that I'm like so excited to like put out there. And I want feedback from my audience. Like, hey, this is me now. Like, what do you want to see? What colors? I have collaborations coming. Like, this is like the best feeling the most fulfilled I've felt in my entire career.
You seem, I mean, I don't know you too well. I know you a little bit. You seem happy.
I'm so happy.
That's good. It's good to see you like that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I definitely think, and to each their own. We've talked about people on social media. Everyone goes through a phase where it's like, go, 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 go. You're kind of like, if you're an influencer and you're watching me right now, you know what I'm talking about. It's like a false sense of reality in a way. And I feel like that's not a bad thing. I feel like everyone goes through their transitions in their careers. And for me, again, we've only been here since 2017 summer. I took a year off. It's like, I'm still learning. Like, people forget I'm still a person, you know, like I'm a grown up now. Like I've mentioned multiple times, and I feel like this transition and putting this out there is going to be a good way to, you know, put out on social media the rest of the way I want to the rest of my career.
That's nice.
Instead of always like thinking, you know, like, oh, but they're going to be disappointed if I don't post like this. No, I'd rather have 10 followers and people who really believe in what I'm doing and like don't want to see like old versions than, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I think about it now.
People always
a reality
say that.
check. Yeah.
People like aspiring YouTubers stuff out there. They always say like it's better to have 100 really engaged, loyal people than 10,000 followers who don't care or like or.
And I've lost a ton of like not a ton, but like my Instagram following. For me, it's like normal people. Like, of course, I freaked out at the beginning, but I'm like, no, this is great. Like, this means that the people who are here now are interested in like this kind of stuff. They're not interested in my past. Like, I'm, you know, new chapter, new grown up, you know, new brands, new everything. So I'm more than fine with people falling off and new people catching on, whether that takes 1 year, 10 years, it doesn't matter to me.
That is so healthy, and no one does that.
Yeah.
No
Well,
one.
that's like the reason I did this. It's
That's
like
so awesome.
being a ghost behind it was I proved to myself.
Yeah.
All the advice I give is valid. That Erika who lived in Michigan, who was just, you know, a normal model before she got in business in Team 10 and whatever it was, like, she's still here. Like, that's who I am at the end of the day, and that's who I want to be to my audience. So it's like, you don't need a big name. Am I going to take away from the fact that, of course, now I have a following, I'm saying this, yes, it's going to help. But if you're able to just put your head down and work and believe in yourself and have that work ethic, it's not easy, but you can do it. I'm from Michigan. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. I didn't put my name on this. I mean, if you follow a Kyrie Sport on Instagram, you can see who's been wearing it over the past 5 months. It's really big for me. I'm very excited.
Where can we follow? We follow Akiri Sport on Instagram.
Akiri Sport on Instagram, TikTok, and then our website as
That's
well.
where you buy it? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Now let's talk. I mean, that's the main topic of this conversation. This is why we're sitting down.
Yeah, it's launched today, guys. It's mine.
Yes,
Today
go
is the
check
day.
it out.
Check it. Well, what day is it? We're like a little bit early.
It's the 31st.
It's the 31st. What do you mean? He edited this in real time.
Yes.
A true creator on our hands.
Of course. We turn them around quick.
Yeah.
So, what other revenue streams do you have going on that you could talk about? What other businesses? It seems like influencers are involved in crypto now, NFTs, all of that stuff. Are you
So this
startups?
is going to be kind of like how we spoke in 2019. A lot of me telling you what I'm going to do, and 2 years later, now you know what it is. Like, we talked about this in 2019.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember or not. I did get a little bit involved in the crypto, to be honest. Again, I said I'm only doing things I'm passionate about. I'm not really super passionate about it. I know it's good money. I'd rather make, you know, I have advisors and stuff when it comes to that, but I'm not like super nerdy into it.
Yeah.
Other revenue streams, I told you about the business I'm opening in Florida. It's huge.
When will we know this?
Oh God. I mean, honestly, like realistically, it's being built, so 10 months.
Wow.
I told you first round of investment is now over, so that's very good. Other businesses, I am planning on launching another product that is related to my brand within the next year or so. I can't really talk about it.
Okay.
Obviously, we're still doing music. I'm doing the screenwriting that we talked about at the beginning. Still planning on doing one more season of music. Courtney, what am I forgetting?
That's everything, I think,
a lot of the things, I'm just going to let them speak for themselves.
Okay.
But the main thing is just this brand is like my pride and joy, and I'm going to continue to work on this as hard as I have been for the past 3 years. And really just like, I'm so excited to show like everyone, like what's coming with the brand.
I'm a size 11 if you want to send me some Jordans.
You know what?
I don't need the. I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm not
send him the biker shorts. Yeah, I think he'd look good in the green biker shorts.
No one wants to see that.
Yeah, well, no, that's what you're getting.
Well, thank you so much. It was so good connecting with you again.
Yes.
Everyone, check out the Instagram.
Yes, guys.
TikTok, everywhere. Follow Erika too as well. Follow her YouTube. She's gonna start posting more.
Yes.
Make sure you subscribe. I've got some good ones coming up. New videos every Thursday, so make sure you subscribe.
Yep.
And
that's it.
That's it.
Woo.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.